Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Last night, the Nashville Predators fell victim to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I believe the score was 4-1.
Correct. Game
Yeah.
two.
4-1. So much hockey, it's crazy. We watched it down in the man cave.
Man cave.
I'm here in Prince Edward Island. The lighting might look a little different, so we've got a bit of a different setup. This is your setup.
This is my setup.
So we're using your equipment this time. Yeah, so we're here to talk about basically game two, just kind of a recap, our thoughts on the game. And it was a tough one to watch because, Nashville scored the first goal.
Yes.
Things look good.
Things look great.
The last 10 minutes of the first period was really exciting. Nashville was all over Pittsburgh.
Lights out.
And then, the second period was a bit more structured, a little less excitement. Teams are kind of buckling down.
Yeah.
Then the third happened, and 10 seconds in, I think Gensel scored a goal, second of the game, and it was over. It was over.
It was just
really frustrating.
Very frustrating, and I don't have a dog in the fight necessarily. My team's long gone, but I was cheering hard for Nashville, as I said earlier, and I still am cheering hard for Nashville. I don't think it's over. I think Pittsburgh will have an interesting experience when they skate out for the first time in the Nashville hockey arena.
That's going to be awesome to see. Yeah.
It's going to be something, and the fans will be totally behind their team. There'll be catfish all over the place.
Yeah.
But the game, I think PK Subban put it best on an interview he did after the game, game two. He said, you have to play 60 minutes of hockey. And if you play only 57 minutes of hockey, well, those 3 minutes can kill you.
Absolutely.
And they killed him in game one.
Yeah.
And they killed him in game two. And he's right. Nashville played a dominating game. They had way more shots. They had way more hits. They had probably the best puck possession.
Yes. Yeah.
But Pittsburgh was very opportunistic, and that Gensel is amazing.
He is very impressive.
He's, I'm not cheering for that team, but I'm cheering for him as a story. He's great.
Yeah.
I really, really like him, and I think Nashville needs to show up for all six. They can't take their foot off the gas pedal. They had Pittsburgh down 1-0.
They show their inexperience in a cup final or in a deep playoff run. Pittsburgh's been here before many times, and Nashville was taking unnecessary penalties. I think Pittsburgh had like 6 or 7 power plays last night.
Oh, and those power plays, that drop pass.
The Nashville drop pass, that's the official name for it. It was to the point where we were calling out, okay, minute and 30 seconds into the power play, back behind their net, coming out of their own zone. Oh, here comes the drop pass.
And there it was.
Back to the trailing defenseman. I don't understand the logic there. It didn't work all night game, or all game.
The only time they didn't do it was the very last
time at which then they gained the zone and got possession.
They got good zone entry, and they actually had a bit of time in the attacking zone.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Awful.
I don't get that strat, but whatever.
Yeah, it was a rough game to watch, and I'm not passionate as to these two teams. I can just imagine what the Nashville fans were going through.
Yeah,
especially after game one, where they also scored the first goal.
They did,
if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree.
And that game really could have changed its entire character had that goal been allowed.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're into game two where they scored a goal, and now we can see what happens when Nashville has a lead. Well, we saw what happened, and it still didn't turn out that great. Nashville had its lead, and I think Pittsburgh scored in the second to tie it, and it went into the third period tied 1-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
And then Pittsburgh just, was lights out after that. And
oh, no, I think Pittsburgh scored at the very end of the first period.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the very end.
And it was a very tight game, and the second was very tight and not great hockey.
Yeah.
Not great hockey. Considering all the superstars out there, it wasn't great hockey. But it was terrible. But kudos to Pittsburgh. I'll use Justin's word.
Yeah, kudos.
They did what they had to do. They took advantage of the opportunities when they presented themselves.
They did.
Nashville had a fantastic team, except for the goaltender once again.
Pecorine, I don't get it. You can't let a goal in 10 seconds into the game. He was way to the net on that left side, trying to cut down the angle on the person who we thought was going to shoot it. And I don't know, very frustrating. Because he played great the first 2 periods. He was lights out.
Yeah. And
the goal he did let in, it was just a squeaker right through, just like the only opening. It was just more of a fluke than anything, maybe. But I don't know. I was happy to see UC Saros come in and play fairly well. He let in a goal, but it was called back. Other than that, I thought he played really well.
Yeah.
And as a Nashville Predators fan, do you want your team to start Pekka Rinne in Game 3, or do you want them to continue with UC Saros?
I think I would go with Saros.
I'd probably go back to Pekka Rinne because he got you the whole way there. But UC Saros is one of my favorite backup goalies in the league, probably second favorite, and he probably could be a starter. He's very, very good. His numbers this year are excellent. And before the playoffs started, I said in a video, I had a dream that Pekka Rinne would either get injured. It wasn't clear in the dream, but Pekka Rinne had to leave, the team for whatever reason, injury or he wasn't playing well. And UC Saros came in, and Nashville was like lights out. They were stellar. And in the dream, it happened at the beginning of the playoffs. But if UC Saros comes in at the end of this playoffs and gets Nashville back into the series, and if for some reason they win the Stanley Cup, I'm going to look like a genius, a dream genius.
I'm going to be asking you what you dreamed about the lottery numbers for next week.
And I'm glad I said that on video before the playoffs even started. So it's I'm not just saying that. It's on video. It's on the channel somewhere. I can't remember what video I said it in, but it's maybe I shouldn't have said that and jinxed UC Saros if he stays in net. But I still believe Nashville's going to win Game 3. For the first game at home, I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think they're going to blow out Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be like 5-2 or 4-1 or something like that. That's my prediction.
They're going to get the last line changed. Laviolette's going to get a chance to match lines, that he couldn't really do in Pittsburgh. He had to basically match his lines on the fly. Whereas this time he'll be able to put his guys out last. And he'll be able to do whatever Sullivan's up to.
Some face-off advantage as well with home ice. And you get the fans behind you.
And the fans will be amazing.
It's going to be so exciting to watch. I can't wait.
Yeah. And, I look at, PK Subban for obvious reasons because I've been following him for years. He's the kind of guy that just feeds off of that stuff. He just feeds off of it.
He loves it, yeah.
And, the more... He feeds off of boos as well as cheers. When they boo him in every rink in the league. And he loves it.
Yeah.
And he's going to love this. It's going to be fun to watch.
He feeds off everything. Even Pierre Maguire interviews. Nobody likes Pierre Maguire interviews, but PK Subban does. He even kissed the man 2 years ago, I think, in the playoffs.
Well, that'd be the highlight of Maguire's day. That's
it would. He went all red faced with a big smile there. Oof. I don't know about that. But. What's your prediction score-wise for Game 3?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be like 7-4 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's going to be lots of scoring. I think it's going to be hard to keep pucks out of the net.
Interesting.
7-4 Nashville.
7-4 Nashville. Oof.
That's my
I'm going to say, it's going back between 5-2 and 4-1. I'm going to go 5-2 Nashville.
All right.
So there you have it. The predictions are in. And so let us know down in the comments how you feel about Game 2 that just happened and maybe Game 3 to come. What's your prediction for Game 3? Do you think Nashville can get back into the series? Or do you think Pittsburgh is going to show their resiliency and show their caliber of being in the playoffs so much and being that Stanley Cup caliber team and just completely shut down Nashville for the rest of the series? Let us know down in the comments below. We definitely want to know. If you're new to Post to Post, we hope you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios. Is that going to buzz?
Nope.
I guess it doesn't matter. The mics are up here.
This might, but that won't.
All right. Don't look at me while I'm doing it. You're messing me up.